What is going on, guys? This is Versus All Gaming with my review of Bloodlet episode 10, and I still can't believe that this right here is the final episode. But I gotta say, for my first series that I am reviewing, all the way, it's a pretty good end. But at the same time, I still wanted more from this show. And I'm hoping when it gets more, manga chapters, it might come back for a season 2 because it just left on such a note that you definitely want more. But at first we see this dragon. He has come to talk to Stas, and he says that while here on his island, but we learn that this dragon has made this entire, dimension. But we actually learn, I was right about this, that this right here is Hydra Bell and her brother. I believe his name was like Nell or something, or Null. That dragon is their father, and his name is Hydra Head. So I was like right about that, which I am happy about. But we actually see that gang or that leader that Stas talked to in the previous episode, they are now back and they have come here to take over Stas' territory because we all know that Stas is not there right now, and with such a powerful leader gone, they feel like they could take over this area with no problem at all. But then we see Stas and Hydra Head's talking, and of course, Hydra Head wants to know like what's going on, and how come, and why would he want to take Fuyumi away from her mother? Because he want to know what our Stas' true intention for Fuyumi. But of course, Brad kind of told him that he wanted to bring back Fuyumi so he could drink her blood, and that right there, kind of upsets Hydra Head. So at first I thought that we are gonna see like some epic battle going on, but it didn't really like escalate to that point. But then we have like a brief flashback of Hydra Head's their his wife and Fumi's mother, and we have Fumi's father, which I believe his name was Yanagi, and Hydra Head was talking about how Yanagi was the only man that had ever put in fear into him because Yanagi, like that guy is freaking strong. He actually gave up his wife so he could raise his daughter alone, but he also wanted her, to have like a human upbringing. And the thing that like gets me is that like we see Hydra Bell and Fumi, they are playing together, and we see Hydra Bell summons that black curtain, and we actually learn that Hydra Bell is a prodigy, and then that's why she could summon such a high level of magic at such a young age. And to me, like that right there was like really cool. But at the same time, I'm wondering like how come that gate didn't go away? Because we see like even now that curtain, it was still there because that's how Fumi got to the demon world in the first place. So I'm wondering like what made her after all these years finally go in there if it's always been there. Like that right there really gets me. I'm also wondering like how come they didn't remember each other because we saw them playing together. So it's weird that like from the beginning it was kind of like the first time that they had met, but we learned that they knew each other. And I'm pretty sure that you want to forget about people like this. But we actually see Beros. She's fine now because Brad's not going to attack her. So somebody finally waking her up, and we see Goyle and Brass. They're talking for a little bit, and Hydra Bell. We all know that she's jealous because she loves Stas, but Stas is in love with Fumi, even though he won't like really admit it just yet. So they're like with each of them kind of like trying to figure out what's going on with them. Both of like Fumi and Hydra and Stas, I mean, they actually answered their question. Kind of like in sync because they said that they said the same thing. And then Hydra Head, he actually took Stas to his room, which to me was weird. I would think that he would share a room with his wife and not have his own little room, which to me was kind of weird. Like it kind of makes me question their relationship because to me, Hydra Head seemed more like I'm not sure how I can put this, but to me, at least for this episode, he did not really seem like her husband, which I don't really get. But Stab was kind of like freaking out because at first it was a small room, and he had one of those like HD TVs, and we all know that nowadays they're like really thin. So like Stab was kind of freaking out about that. But Hydra has had a deal to make with Stas, and for him to do that, he had to eat this dumpling that had cursed Ren on it. So Stas had to agree with like two conditions, or he'll die. He'll either have to only drink Fumi's blood with her permission if he brings her back, and he could also take her out of here with her permission. If he breaks those two conditions, he'll die, or that's what he'll believe. And at first, when they were showing this like giant woman before Stas, I thought that was legit, but it just turns out that it was Hydra head, moving a doll around, talking in a high pitched voice. But we learned that Stab was like never cursed. It was just a sleeping dumpling that just knocked him out, and he teleported him to these stairs where they could get out of here. And then we see Fumi just in her bra and panties, because I believe it was Hydra Bell. Yeah, it was Hydra Bell that had took her out of there, or maybe it wasn't. But I should know that she was teleported to Stas, and then we have her mother and father that were talking, because Hydra he's kind of on Stas' side at the moment, because he wants to see, or he wants Fumi to like pick her own future and make her own choices, and not have her mother to do it. But then we go back to Deku and the other guy, because that demon gang is still not gone, and they even hired these bodyguards, for protection. And we just see this ugly, shriveled up demon that had like no eyes, but you could just see, I guess it was like soul in her eyes, and that part right there gave me chills. Like even now talking about it, I'm getting goosebumps on my arm. But then we go back to Guile and Brass, and they're talking a little bit, and Brass messed up because he put his hand to Guile's face, and when Guile, walk into it, it actually lets him use the magic that froze him. But of course, Brass being a badass, that right there did not hold him for long. Liz came down there, to save him, and so that they could get out of there. And for some reason, we see Wolf, and he looks rather depressed, and to me that right there was like kind of weird, cause I'm not sure why he would look like that, but apparently like Wolf looked worried, at least to me, so I am wondering like why would he look like that, especially when we know that he's just big and bad, badass king. So it is weird to see him look concerned, so I'm wondering like what's going on through his mind. But we actually go back to Fumi and Stas, and they're talking, and we just see Stas trying to pull this nice guy act, and it's creepy. Like even I found that part creepy, because Stas would like never act like that. So it is kind of weird that he would like randomly do that. But we all know he's acting that way so he can easily convince Fumi, to come along with him. But then we see Deku and that guy, and since Stas not there, they have to, defend their territory. And that guy that could change his form actually becomes a T-Rex, and to me that right there was like pretty badass. I definitely was expecting him to have that kind of form, but luckily they actually do manage to defend their home, but they actually get like pretty beat up, but at least it worked. So that really is a good thing. So then we have Wolf, and he fighting some leader for a territory, and this guy was hoping that Wolf would actually use his wolf form, because we all know when he does, he's unbeatable for the most part. But the thing is, he wants to get stronger because he wants to overcome Stas. So he figures that rather than rely on that form, he should strengthen his human form, which to me it makes a lot of sense, because by getting stronger in that form, it will of course make his wolf form like even stronger. But then we have like some little bird demon that has come down to give him a letter that wants him to come to that demon place, which to me it makes a lot of sense, because maybe Wolf, maybe King Wolf is actually worried about dying, so he finally wants his son. Because like, to me, the difference here is not hard to figure out. Like, from the moment you saw Wolf Daddy and saw that he was a wolf himself, it should have been obvious that Wolf is his son. So I'm pretty sure that it maybe Wolf Daddy wants Wolf to actually take over for him if he dies, which to me makes a lot of sense. But the thing is, but we finally go back to Fuyumi and Stas, and Stas actually makes a good point. Throughout this entire anime, he has not been a hero. He has been more like a bad guy, because something is always happening to Fuyumi, even though he promised to make her a human. He almost lost her twice. She got kidnapped, and it should go on and on. So it definitely makes a lot of sense why he considers himself a bad guy, but he decides that if Fuyumi, actually, comes with him, then he'll become a dark hero that will definitely protect her. So of course, Fuyumi finally agrees to go with him, which to me I'm like so happy about. But then again, I should have saw it coming. But since this show is, is so out there, you like never know what to expect with it. But of course, even though Fuyumi is now going with Stas, her mother is still not going to give up. So Stas and Fuyumi still have a lot of trials that they'll have to overcome if they really want to get what they want. But this right here is now for the real shocker of this series ending. We finally see this body that Frankie and Bryce have been working on, and it's actually Bryce's father. Now here's the thing: even though it's his body, I'm pretty sure that they cannot bring back his father's soul and put him and put it back into his body. So I'm pretty sure that right there is going to be a Kim in his father's body, which to me is kind of weird, but at the same time, if you think about it, it actually makes sense. It actually makes a lot of sense, actually, because Kim already said that right there would be his new body, and we see that the body is there of his father. So maybe Braz actually wants to make his father or Kim more powerful, so that he could be the king again. But at the same time, it won't be the old king. And I'm pretty sure Braz can't control the Kim. So I'm definitely wondering, like, where is this going to go? Like, that right there is why I want the anime to go on, not end, but sadly it did. But overall, this series, I loved it. That's why I kept reviewing it, because I really got into it, and I liked it a lot. And I just wanted more from it. I'm hoping that they'll make a season 2 of this, or bring it back, like, at some point. But if not, then I'll just stick with the manga. And because I like this series so much, I might start doing manga reviews of it. So let me know if you guys want that. But as always, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, you gotta take it easy. I will see you all next time.